pretty much the same, okay? Because I'm pretty sure Mike Ellis has the same story. I hear his story all the time. So, but I'm gonna be telling you mine in a way to make you understand the power of what we are into. This company called OnPassive. I'm gonna be telling you about it by just telling you the truth, right? Mark Twain once said, as long as you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. So it is a unique opportunity, and it's a once in a lifetime kind of opportunity, okay? So pay attention, mark this date, February 19th, like Maddie said. If you are here today, someone really cares about you, and they invited you to come and change your life. Now, I have been in the US for close to 37 years now. And for most of that time, I've worked in the IT industry until 5 years ago, where I retired. Now, relatively, it pays well. Some might say you're making good money. But of course, because I have a big family, I've always needed more money. So I've always looked for ways to make extra money. Long time ago, I ran into the works of Mr. Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest people on earth, who said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. So that statement resonated so well with me. I've always been looking for ways to make money in my sleep. So when I retired 5 years ago, it was not because I had a lot of money. It was on the contrary, because I did not have enough money. I remember when I turned in my resignation, a colleague of mine looked at me and said to me, Charles, you're a very blessed guy. You must have saved up a lot of money to be retiring this early. And I said to him, are you kidding me? I'm retiring because I need to save up money. Okay. I also remember Robert Einstein saying, you keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. That is his definition of insanity. And I agreed with him. That is why I retired. I resigned, I want to say, because I just changed my focus. I went and got myself an office space in Maryland, in Greenbelt, to be more specific. And just over 3 years ago, a trusted friend of mine walked into my office and said to me, Charles, you're going to have to take a look at this opportunity. It's mind-blowing. And just so you know, prior to retiring, I've been studying rigorously the behavioral patterns of successful people. And one of them is simple. You bring them an opportunity. They're going to take a look at it inside out so that they can make an informed decision. And I pretended to be one of them that day. And I told my friend, I am going to take a look at this most certainly. But I have 3 prerequisites, 3 questions for you before we move on. Question number 1, with this opportunity, am I going to make money if I cannot recruit or sell? If I cannot recruit one person, if I cannot sell to even one person, am I going to make money? And when I say money, I mean real money. You just heard Maddie talk about chump change. No, I have been blessed enough to see chump change every time I had a job. But this time around, we're talking about real money. If you recall, I was retired. So time freedom I had plenty of. But money freedom had been ever elusive. So I asked my friend, am I going to make enough money to have money freedom so that together I can say I have total freedom? And he said to me, Charles, you will make enough money to leave a legacy for your children, the children's children, and beyond. That sounded like music to my ears. And I said to him, question number 2, will I have to pay a monthly bill? Every month, some bill, they call it auto ship in the industry. Like you just heard Maddie saying, he was paying some auto ship in his first business. Those don't generally work very well, especially if you're not generating income. So I asked him, do I have to pay a monthly auto ship? He said to me, Charles, once this company launches, you'll come out of pocket once, and that's it. So the company was still in pre-launch, and we're trying to get founding members. So I said, well, let's go to question number 3. Very important. It might be the last, but certainly not the least. Does this company have legitimate, viable products? By legitimate, I mean legal. By viable, I mean necessary. Something that mankind needs every day. Without it, life is miserable. And let me just say this, my friends. If a company does not have viable products, that company is a time bomb. It is just a matter of time before it falls. I know a bunch of you listening to me today, this is not your first business. You've tried some things and they went out. You go to log into the website and it says, oops, website not available. Guess what? They did not have viable products. You go back, you look at every one of them. You're going to find that they don't have viable products. Okay, so I asked my friend that day and he said to me, Charles, you have an IT background. You're going to understand these products better than me. So why don't you take a look? And I said, why not? I did take a look, came back to him, and I said, my friend, what these people are trying to do, should they succeed, we're going to have an internet quake. We're going to have a shakeup of the internet. But I also told him, we are going to have to wait for the long haul, 5 years, maybe 6 years. He didn't like that at all because he's like all of us. We like instant gratification. We like money today. So he said to me, Charles, why would you say that? And I said, simple. You told me to take a look at the products. I did. And I believe I understand what they are trying to do. They are using artificial intelligence, AI for short, in every step of the development process. AI, my friends, is a disruptive technology. And what do I mean by that? One that comes every once in a while. Yes, it'll change the way we do things. In other words, it'll disrupt our lives. AI is yet the most disruptive technology mankind has ever known. But AI is very involved. It involves machine learning. It involves empirical data. It involves millions upon millions of lines of coding, programming. For those of you who are into software development, you're going to agree with me. This is time consuming. It's not a joke. And that is why I told my friend, we're just going to have to sit back, relax, enjoy this roller coaster. I also told him, I don't care how long it's going to take. I need to be part of this company today. I had something we call FOMO, fear of missing out. I had missed out on a few opportunities earlier on, blockchain being one of them. I wasn't going to miss out on this one, not for any length of time and not at any cost. So I also asked him, how much is it going to cost me to be part of this company today? And he said to me, of course, by the way, I was thinking some humongous amount of money, like $20,000. Of course, I didn't care because I had credit cards with me. Thankfully, in the United States, we don't need cash. All we need is some plastics. And I had a few of those at the time. But my friend looked up at me and said, Charles, believe it or not, all you need is $97. Needless to say, I was discombobulated. I could not believe it. And I said to him, you got to be kidding me. He said, no way, I'm serious. Well, okay, here's my card. Put it on there. And by the time we were done, It costed me, yes, $102. So there is a $5 fee that banks will charge you. Big deal. I told him, consider that dinner for two. But I also told him, I do not have 5 or 6 years to be monitoring this business. I need to put food on the table. So do me a favor. Call me, text me, email me, do whatever it takes. Get me informed when they are closer to launch. He said, deal. But 8 months later, he gave me a call. Charles, the CEO of this company wants to talk to all of us in 1 week's time. Can you make yourself available? And I was like, why not? 1 week later, I hopped on the call, and there was Mr. Ash Mofara. Mr. Ash Mofara is the CEO and founder of this company. Mr. Ash Mofara, for those of us who have been founders for some time, we have come to know and love him dearly. Not only because he's going to help us fill our pockets, and of course I can guarantee you that's about to happen, but also, and more importantly, because of his heart for humanity. My friends, we do have a few geniuses out there. Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, just to name a few. These guys, all of them are very super intelligent. They're very, very smart. They have the brains. But do they have the heart? Well, guess what? As you come to join us, you will find out. Not only does our CEO have the brains, but his heart is with humanity. And that is why a lot of us leaders resonate with him so very well. But mind you, I was listening to him for the very first time, and he came on and he said, folks, we are closer to launch than ever before. Now, that statement, I must admit, threw me off. Why? Because 8 months earlier, I told my friend, we will be waiting for a very, very long time. Now, all of a sudden, this dude is here telling us we are closer to launch than ever before. So in my mind, I'm thinking, whom is he kidding? Don't I know what he's trying to do? But guess what? That got my attention. And I was listening keenly. He went on. He said, we've gone to Bangalore in India. We've leased a high-rise, 2 floors in the high-rise building, 2 floors. Now, if you look at me behind me, you're going to see a building that says OnPassive. This building is in Hyderabad, high-tech city. At that time, this building was non-existent. This building was just leased December of 2020. At the time, back in 2019, they had just gone to Bangalore. They leased 2 floors in a high-rise building. And Mr. Mofara went on. We have hired 200 engineers, the best of the best. And these guys are working day and night to make sure our dream is realized. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, most startup companies are going to have 20 to 25 engineers. Most startup companies are going to have these engineers work 8, maybe 9, maybe 10 hours a day. I know. Why? Because I have been part of a few of those. Mr. Mofara goes to the source. And when I say source, for those of you who are familiar with IT, you will agree with me that Indians are the best in the game. So he goes to the source. He did not get 20 or 25 engineers. He got 200 of them. And they're not working 8 or 9 or 10 hours a day. They are working around the clock. They are taking turns. So in my mind, I am beginning to think, okay, with this kind of a resource, yes, you are able to cut time frames. With this kind of a resource, yes, you are able to do in 2-3 years what is scheduled to take 5-6 years. So my belief factor goes off the roof. And I'm listening very keenly again. And he went on. Well, some of you founding members have been unethical. So we're going to come up with a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA for short. When you see those NDAs, sign them up, because it's the only way you can participate in this great company. 2 months later, he came back with a meeting. Folks, NDAs are out. Go sign them up. I went back, took a look at this very long document, and of course, I can assure you, I am not an attorney, not by any stretch of the imagination. But by the time I was done reading that NDA, it occurred to me that this is very, very serious. It occurred to me that this is the time. I told my friend to get back to me, do whatever it takes to get me informed. I look back at the time, money, energy spent from the time I had joined up until then. And I said, okay, time for me to roll up my sleeves and go to work. Time for me to be part of this revolution. So I called up a few friends to my office and I said, listen up, folks, we are going to have to spread this word massively because we are about to change humanity. We're going to do whatever it takes, tell whoever we want to tell. Those who have ears can listen. Those who do not, we have done our part. And I urge you, my friends, those of you who are founders here today, in French, we say, "Nous n'avons le droit d'être heureux seul." That just simply means we don't want to be the only ones that are blessed. So go ahead and bless your loved ones. Okay? So my friends and I, everybody that I know, we decided on something called Zoom. Thanks to technology, with Zoom, all you need is a smart device. It can be an iPhone, a laptop, doesn't matter, any smartphone. Okay? You need data, internet access. Once you have those two, you are on, right? So if you can see me or you can hear me, it means you went to something called Zoom, and you put in some number, and that's your on. Now, what is this company I'm talking about? Behind you, it says OnPassive. If you look behind me, this name was not given by chance. This is a passive opportunity. Our CEO and founder, Mr. Ashmo Farah, that I just mentioned a few moments ago, he graduated with a master's in e-commerce. He went back to Harvard, did some more studies on online business, online marketing. This guy has a knack for artificial intelligence, AI, that disruptive technology I mentioned to you guys. This guy is a guru when it comes to traffic. Marty talked about traffic, eyeballs. Traffic is key. Traffic is a single differentiator between OnPassive and any other company that you've seen or heard before. Traffic is the reason we can dream today, you and I. And so it is very important. So let me just spend a couple minutes explaining traffic, talking about traffic. What is traffic as far as business is concerned? Now, it is the most fundamental element in any business. And it doesn't matter whether this business is offline or online. But I do know most of us here, we have an age and we are more used to offline businesses. So let's start there. Let's say you have a business offline and I have the same exact business. And it can be any business. It can be a car dealership, a barber shop, a tire store. It doesn't matter what it is. But let's just say it is a restaurant. Why? Because I love food. And also because we all eat at some point in time. So you have a restaurant and I have the same exact restaurant. Same name, same kind of food. As a matter of fact, same chef. The only difference, location. Your restaurant is located in a busy area, in a shopping mall. People come in and out all the time. My restaurant is hidden. It's located in a back alley. Guess what's going to happen? Yours will fare better than mine, and here's why. People are going to come to that shopping mall, minding their own business, maybe to do their hair, do their nails, buy some clothes, window shopping. Whatever it is that brings them to the shopping mall, eventually they will get hungry. Look up, spot your restaurant, wander into your restaurant, and the end result of that is what? Sales. My restaurant, on the other hand, people are going to have to leave their homes deliberately to go there. People are going to have to know that it is there. And because of that, it suffers. It suffers from what? Traffic. So what then is traffic? The people, the customers coming in and out of your business. That is traffic. What about traffic online? But before I go there, I want to say this. In this digital day and age, if you have an offline business like the restaurant I just mentioned, you better get yourself an online presence. Otherwise, you're going to lose out. You're going to be smoked by your competition. So what am I saying in essence? Yes, it is true that we have lots of businesses offline, millions upon millions of them. But it is also true that we have more businesses online than we do offline, billions of them. And all these businesses thrive on traffic too. Without traffic, they are out of business. So we have companies online, individuals online, making a killing. How? By sending traffic to all these billions of businesses online. Typical example, Google. And then we have something called targeted traffic. What is that? Say you go online looking for something, a TV, for example, and somebody walks around you and whispers in your ear, why don't you go to charlesoson.com? And the moment you go there, all you see are TVs, all kinds of TVs, all sizes, all prices. Chances of you buying very, very high. Well, guess what? That store just got itself a targeted traffic, a customer looking for something that they offer. That is huge online. Our CEO and founder, Mr. Ashmo Farah, that I mentioned to you a few moments ago, is the best in the game of driving targeted traffic. He proved himself. When he got out of college, he joined a few companies, drove traffic to them, customers, affiliates. Yes, he made some money doing that, serious money. But these companies also make tons of money. But unfortunately, they went out of business, most of them. Why? Remember, I told you guys, any company without legitimate, viable products is a time bomb. So Mr. Mofara and his family, notably his wife, are going to sit down and say, you know what? We need to stop doing this. We need to stop sending customers, people to businesses that have no basis. We are going to start our own. We're going to have legitimate, viable digital services. We're going to get founding members, you and I. We're going to drive traffic to them. They'll make money. We're going to make money. And everybody's happy. My friends, that is the birth of OnPassive. So well over 3 years ago, and remember that, there was no pandemic, no COVID-19. These guys were just visionaries. Mr. Mofara and his friends are going to sit down and say, hey, we're starting our own. We're going to drive traffic to our own business. We're going to have legitimate, viable services. We do know there are about 8 billion people on Earth. And at any point in time, statistics show that 7 million of those people are online doing something. Now think about it for a moment. 7 million over 3 years ago with COVID-19, what do you think that number is today? A whole lot. But 7 million at the time was still quite a bit. So they are thinking, what kind of services are these people looking for online so we can provide them? Well, some of us online, we're doing online banking. I love it. I do that sometimes twice a day, sometimes even 3 times a day. And I know a bunch of you listening to me do that as well. When we do these things, believe it or not, there are people, there are companies that are monetizing on our services. And these guys are going to say, you know what, with AI, we can do that too, even better. Some of us online, we are on our favorite social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I love Facebook. But when we are on Facebook, what are we doing? We're sending text messages. We're sending photos to friends, family members, colleagues, classmates. Guess what that is? Guess what the product of Facebook is? Simple, community. You have a community and we share information and advertisers go crazy. That's how they make money. So these guys at OnPassive are going to say, you know what? With AI, we're going to have a bigger, better community. And as you come to join us, you're going to find out our community is getting very, very large. 1.2 million and growing by the minute. Okay? Some of us online are doing what? E-commerce, drop shipping, email marketing, bulk emailing. Now, did you know there are people online, email marketers, making 6- and 7-figure income annually? I know. Why? Because I thought about it once upon a time. So these guys are OnPassive. They're going to say, you know what? We can do that too, even better. Email marketing, autoresponder, using AI, artificial intelligence. We can do that even better. Some of us online are using video conferencing, just like now, right? We are all on Zoom. You can hear me, you can see me, you're on Zoom. Zoom is a video conferencing platform. And guess what? Zoom, the owners and founders of Zoom are monetizing on our services as we speak. And they are not the only ones. We have Skype, we have AnyMeeting, Cisco WebEx, Google Hangouts, Microsoft Teams. We have a plethora of more than 25 of them, all of them making serious money, especially since the advent of the pandemic. But Zoom is the most popular. Why? Because it is the most user-friendly. But not for long, my friends. You wait until we launch our O Connect. Some of us who have been founders for some time, we've been lucky enough to see a sneak peek of it. It is clearer, 3D. It is more secured, end-to-end encrypted. It is scalable, okay? And above all, guess what? More affordable, okay? But let's focus on Zoom because today is still their day until we get out there. Let me tell you guys something, folks. Prior to COVID-19, Zoom was averaging 10 million participants every day prior to COVID-19. April 2020, same company took a statistic. That number had risen to well over 300 million participants per day. Think about that for a moment. November 30th, 2020, Forbes magazine, most of us know who they are, came out with a report. Zoom had made more profits than ExxonMobil, the decades-old American oil company. So you guys can begin to think, where is the money going? Digitization, virtualization. Every university ever since the pandemic, high school, middle school, elementary school, asking students to take classes virtually. I've seen pastors, men of God, women of God, having virtual prayer services. I've seen virtual weddings, all kinds of stuff. The world is going virtual, and OnPassive is simply going to help us monetize. Let's talk about another service, Virtual Private Network, VPN. Now, what is that? It's a fancy name, my friends. Fancy name for a tunnel, right? A tunnel that cuts across a major network, such as the internet. It provides for privacy. Employers use it so that their employees can have access to corporate data without fear of hackers, without fear of bad guys. Ever since the pandemic, more and more companies asking employees to work from home. Facebook, Microsoft, Google, even the federal government asking employees to work from home. So what does that tell you? That tells you there are companies out there that are monetizing on these services. My friends, these guys at OnPassive, they're gonna say, you know what? We have AI. We can have our own VPN. We do. We call it all virtual. Super, super smart, more intelligent, more scalable, more secure, end-to-end encrypted. And above all, guess what? More affordable. So let me tell you guys what's going to happen. When OnPassive launches, there are big players in the VPN space, like Cisco Networks. They are going to know there's a new sheriff in town. Oh, yes, they will. Let's talk about another service, search engine optimization, SEO, right? What is that? Mouthful. We know of search engines, Yahoo, Bing, and those of us Apple enthusiasts, we know of Safari. And by the way, if you don't know about Google, you need to go and rethink. We all should know about Google. It's almost a verb these days. Somebody asks you something, you don't know it, just tell them to Google it. You can go to Google 10 times a day, 100 times a day, free of charge, right? We do go to Facebook as many times as we want, free of charge. We post videos on YouTube, all of these things, free of charge. Now, all these techie companies seem to be free of charge, yet all of them are multi-billion-dollar companies. Well, here's a multi-billion-dollar question I've got for you. How do they make money? Well, let's take Google, for example. Every time you go to Google, you search for something, somebody is paying. So let's say you go to Google and you search for something. It could be anything. It could be a phone, a watch, a camera. Let's make it a camera. Why? Because I do market my cameras through Google. So you go to Google, you search for cameras, a bunch of them will pop up. One of them probably from my store. Guess what? You click on that camera from my store, you just costed me money. Why? Because Google is going to charge me at the end of the month. They call it pay-per-click. You don't have to buy it. Their job is to make sure you see it. Whether you buy it or not, my problem, not theirs. A small businessman like myself, you can imagine, very, very small, almost insignificant online, yet I'm paying Google about $400 every month, averagely. I'm also paying Microsoft. Why? Bill Gates bought a company called Bing, revamped it, and he's doing big business with it. I'm paying a company called GoDaddy for what? Domain name service, DNS. Every company online has to have a domain name. So when you hear of xxx.com, xxx.net.info, those are domain names, and somebody has to host them. And we have billions of them online, and people are monetizing. Well, guess what? OnPassive is going to help us monetize on domain name service using artificial intelligence. My friends, when we launch, all these companies in these spaces, they are going to know there is a new kid on the block. I can assure you that. So what am I doing? All I'm doing is I'm giving you the services that OnPassive is putting together. Viable services. I am giving you the ones that you and I can relate to. But of course, there is more. We have virtual education, e-learning. We have tracking applications that governments are going to use all over the world. We have, like I said, VPN. We have all kinds of services online, HR. Okay, so guess what I'm doing? Putting the ones that you can relate to. Guess what OnPassive is doing? Putting all of these services together, and they're saying, you need it, we got it for you. And they're putting it in one place, and they're all integrated. As if that's not enough, we also do have physical services that are very, very high in demand. My friends, OnPassive is giving us value. This is value. And I told you guys in the beginning, in the very beginning, 3 things that make us different from every other company out there. Number 1, You do not have to recruit to make money. You do not have to sell to make money. Number two, you don't have to come out of pocket every month to pay some bill. And number three, very important, we have legitimate, viable digital services. This is value. And I can assure you, you find one company with all three of these things, you talk to any one of us on this panel, we are going to be your first customer. Take that to the bank. This is value. Now, with this value, what is it going to cost you to become a founder? Our founding position is coming to an end very, very soon. As soon as we start testing some of these products, this founding position is coming to an end in a matter of days. So I'm going to let Mr. Mike Ellis, one of our veterans here, he's been here almost from the inception, understands businesses online, offline, understands OnPassive, what it is doing, what it's designed for, and where we're headed. Mike, can you please tell this guest here today what is gonna take for them to become founders with OnPassive before the doors are shut? Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, Charles. And as usual, absolutely marvelous presentation. You've gone over OnPassive and the benefits are just astounding. If you're new to OnPassive, what we'd like you to do is get back with the individual that invited you here and become a founder. Pay the $97, $5 fee, $102, and start participating with OnPassive. And the way you do that, again, is you get back with the individual that invited you. They will send you a link. You go to that link. It's a registration link. And you go through the sign-up process to become a founding member of OnPassive. Very, very easy. It takes maybe 5 minutes at the most to become a founding member. Now, that $102, you will go out of pocket once. You will never have to go out of pocket again. You'll never have to pay that $102 again. But as you come in and become a founder, it locks you into the company. It locks you into the pay structure, which is even more importantly. Now, as we go into the global launch of OnPassive, there will be another fee that we'll all have to pay. As we go into the global launch, we'll all come in, we'll become customers, and we'll have a subscription fee of anywhere between $200 and $300. Ash has not shared that with us yet. I always say $300. And if it's less than that, it's a nice surprise. As we pay that $300, we get all the products of OnPassive, okay? And OnPassive is going to go to work for us when we get all of those products. They're going to build an automated marketing platform for us. They're going to build a sales platform, automated marketing platform, hook it up to AI, which makes it 100% automated. And then from there, we go into the back office. We click a button. And we become independent resellers of the IT product. Why is that important? It's important to know that because as we become independent resellers of the IT products, we're already customers because we have all the products. We paid the fee. As we become independent resellers of the IT products, that's when we can get paid. And that has to do with all the regulators around the world. So it's important that you go, as we go into the global launch, you go through that whole process. Now let's back up to the subscription fee. The subscription fee, it also is a one-time payment. It is a monthly fee, but you'll pay it once. You'll never have to go out of pocket again. And as we look at the preceding months after that first month's payment of the subscription fee, the payments that we'll pay in the preceding months will come from the profits of OnPassive. And OnPassive guarantees we will make money. Ash Mufareh, he has told us, once you pay that subscription fee, you'll never have to go out of pocket again. So we have two fees, the $97, which is the founder's fee. And then as we go into the global launch of OnPassive, we'll pay that fee between $100 and $300. Now, the subscription fee, you do not pay that until we go into the global launch, okay? So you're looking at one fee today. Again, once out of pocket, you'll never have to pay again. And then as we go into the global launch, you'll have to pay the subscription fee. These two fees, again, one-time payment. And for me, this was very, very refreshing because I've looked at a lot of companies. I've been with a lot of companies. And they're always trying to take money out of your pocket, whether it's an auto ship or whatever it is, and you pay it month after month after month after month. That is not OnPassive. You'll pay it once. You'll never have to go out of pocket again. So the process of becoming a founding member, participating with OnPassive, very, very easy. You get back with the individual that invited you here, you get the registration link, go through that process, very, very simple, and they can kind of walk you through it. And then from there, as we go into the global launch, we have a subscription fee we have to pay. And from there, OnPassive will set up your business. They'll do what they do with their IT products and AI to make you 100% automated business. And from there, the biggest thing you're going to have to do is manage your money. And that's a really, really good place for any of us to be. You know, Charles has shared a lot of things with us today. And I know each and every one of us, we have a dream. And the problem with dreams is most of those dreams are never brought into reality. They never happen for individuals. What Ash Mufareh has done is given us the ability to come in, participate with OnPassive, and have a way forward, yes, to build an income, to build a residual income, to build wealth, and then leave a financial legacy to our families. And I know we all think about these things, but we just didn't have a way to do it for ourselves and our family. That all changes today. If you understood what Charles was saying, you are in a unique position to actually take care of those financial needs and get to that place where you're building wealth, to take care of those dreams that perhaps today have not been a reality. But with what Ash Mufareh has done, the way Charles has explained it, it's a done deal. And OnPassive, we are in the process of going into the global launch right now. The window to become a founding member, as Charles said, is very, very short. That window is closing. I would continue to explore OnPassive. I always recommend people come in, pay the $97, become a founding member. And as you explore OnPassive, you're going to find that everything we've said here, as good as it is better than that. So OnPassive, it is the place to be. If you're looking to take care of those financial needs, come on in, become a founder. And from there, yeah, your life is about to change in major ways. Charles, I'm going to hand it back either to you or Dr. Imelda. And yeah,
thanks,
we're
Mike.
all in a great place.
Yes, we are. We are going to let Dr. Imelda moderate. We're going to try and take some questions from our guests only.
Very good.
So if you are a founder, please come back on Monday. We do have one for founders every Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But for today, we would like to have our guests get the opportunity to understand the concept of the company and to become part of us if they are so desire, so to speak. Go ahead, Dr. Meda.
Okay, thank you to Mr. Charles Osong, Mr. Marty Degamo, and Mike Ellis. And our guests, again, you guys are all welcome. And as you heard, everything that Mr. Osong, Mike, and Marty have said, I believe this is the time for you to ask any questions. We're going to be welcoming questions from our guests only. And so if you're already a founder, please reserve your questions and join us on Monday. And you will check and you'll be provided with that information from your back office. So at this time, if you're going to ask any question, please raise your hand. I will be bringing you in as one of our panelists. And at that time, please, I do recommend that you raise, as a matter of fact, no, open up your video so we can know and we can at least put a name to the face when you come on and then ask your questions. Our leaders here are ready to help you out, get through with it. So I'm going to be promoting, at this time, we only have one hand raised, a virtual hand. So if you don't know how to do that, just go to the bottom of your screen, meaning your cell phone, navigate to it. You'll probably find, or rather you will find there to raise your hand. If not, drop something in the chat pod and I will read that in here. So I'm promoting the one person who is called Galaxy A20S. By the way, if we can rename you, that'll be fine. So we can be able to call you by name. So just check your monitors, check your screen and see if an invitation has been sent to you to join us as a panelist. All right. Again, for our guests, if you have any questions, lingering questions, if you cannot raise your hand, which I'm doing so for, I'm promoting this guy to a panelist or whoever that is, Mr. Charles, and they're not coming on. So I guess.
Dr. Imelda, while we're waiting, there is a question in the chat.
Perfect.
And the individual wants to know his motivation behind inviting people to OnPassive. If you don't have to do that, if OnPassive is going to build your business and you don't have to recruit, sell, or share, why would you invite people? And that's a good question. The reason that we invite people is because we know what OnPassive is going to do for us, okay? And if we know what it's going to do for us, it would be very, very selfish if we didn't share it with our family and our friends, and all of us have done that. We want them to be in the same position to be able to take care of that financial bottom line. And really, that's why we bring people in. It's not out of need. We don't need to do that. No one in OnPassive needs to do that, but we do it out of love because we love the people we're bringing in and we want them to have that same benefit. Charles, you have anything to add to that?
Yes, I think you did justice to it, but I just want to say sharing is caring. That's number one, right? And also, for me, the way I looked at it, when I saw this opportunity, I'm thinking, okay, I have a big family, more than 100, like direct uncles, cousins, and so on. If I am the only one making money out of 100, that money you can simply divide it by 100. Now, what if I get all 100 of us come in and everybody's making their own money? So I keep my money to myself, right? Like Zig Ziglar says, you help enough people get what they want, you eventually get what you want and even more. So I help my family members and friends get what they want. So everything else is mine, keep for myself. And guess what? The company also says, hey, because you've helped other people, we're going to give you more. How about that? So, but otherwise, you don't talk to anybody, you seal your lips. Okay? Guess what? You're going to have enough money after a period of time, but you're going to have to share that money with your loved ones.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Charles and Mike, for that answer. Definitely, you hit the nail while it's hot at the top. And we just have our guest, I believe is our guest, and I'm trying to unmute them. The guest on Galaxy A20s, you are on board in the panelist forum right now, or room. Please, if you can unmute yourself and ask your question, we'll appreciate it.
Galaxy A20 is Clarence Jumbo.
My own auntie.
And
Guys, that's my auntie, okay?
Yeah.
Auntie Flo, welcome, please.
Thank you.
Good. If you have, I believe you are a founder, Auntie. She
is a founder.
Would like to answer questions from guests. So you can go back. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It looks like we don't have any more questions.
It doesn't.
Which is
okay,
good.
Auntie, you can ask your questions, please.
No, she's a founder.
Left. It's fine.
She's a founder, right?
She's a founder. All right, no worries. I guess
so
you
come
guys
back on Monday.
It seems as if you guys did a good job. Auntie Flo, you can come back on Monday when we are in our roundtable. And if we don't have any questions from founders, I guess we did our best. Mr. Osong, you're muted. Are you talking to us?
Okay. All right. So great. So if we don't have any guest questions, please, founders, come back on Monday. And if you're a guest and you sign up before Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern, you can also join us and learn more. There's a lot to learn with this company. It's not going to take you 1 day or even 1 year to learn everything. It's going to take you a while, right? So just
Mr. Osong, hold on a moment. There is a question from John May in the chat pod, or rather a concern. He says, I am a founder and want to share this to everyone, but everyone is so skeptical. They don't want to listen. That is my problem. So let's help that person get off this fear.
So if everyone is skeptical, I'm pretty sure we are part of everyone, right? A bunch of people are skeptical. Okay, what you need to do is invite them to the webinar. And you don't have to, people are going to want to ask you questions, right? And guess what? You don't need them to begin with. So that's a great tool. The fact that you don't need them, the fact that you are helping them, okay, should give you that courage to talk to them. And if they say no, forget it. You've done your part. That's all I can say. Invite them to the webinars. If they're skeptical, it's okay. You've done your part. All right? You don't have to get them in, unless Mike wants to add something to that.
Oh, that's perfect, Charles. I mean, the skeptics of OnPassive, eventually they're going to come in as customers. And if they come in now as founding members, they get paid for that. It really is that simple. But regardless of how they feel, because of the magnitude of OnPassive, it's going to be in every corner of the world. They're either going to come in and participate or they're going to be customers. And we don't care which. We really don't.
All right. Thank you both for that answer. I believe that's about it, Mr. Oso. I believe this is it.
All right. So we are going to see you guys next week. We're actually seriously thinking to make these guest webinars once a week. So Tuesdays. So we may not have one next Saturday, but we'll keep you guys informed because the attendance tells me that we need to combine everything, right? Make it one instead of splitting them up. So guys, have a great weekend, but we'll decide further on that and we'll let you guys know. We'll have to run it by Ash also.
Thank you.
Stay blessed.
Charles. Perfect.
Stay blessed, you all. Yes.